thought we had a lot of contributions. Obviously, Julian Larry continues to play at an amazing level. What he's doing, touching paint and, making the right reads and not only for himself, but finding his teammates and getting the blender started. He was fantastic. I thought Robbie Avila was terrific as well. Our ability to get the ball to him in the seams and his ability to, not many 6'10" guys are in the short roll, catching it in there, and then able to do what he does in terms of his passing and finishing and his dexterity. So we had, up and down the team, we had a lot of guys contribute. Cavassier gets a double-double, gets on the glass. I thought, Jason Kent off the bench, Cade McKnight gave us really good minutes. I thought Mason Miller's defense was outstanding. I thought really good team win against a very good and very well coached, Illinois-Chicago group. So we're pleased with it, and looking forward to a day off tomorrow.
All right. I know Mark Bennett's already written about Julian Larry plenty, but this was my first chance to see him since you put him in the starting lineup. Double-figure scoring every game. Just maybe elaborate on him a little bit. Is he gaining? He had 21, I think, his first start, and 18 was close to it today. Do you think he's gaining confidence each game, or he already has plenty of that and he's just letting it shine?
Yeah, I think, confidence is the magic elixir, right? His confidence level is through the roof. And, coming back from Christmas, he's been the biggest difference in our team. The level he's playing at, the last 4 games, I think he'd missed 3 shots. He's now missed 5 shots in 4 games. I think he's 25 for 30 from the field, and his ability to, and he's not, we always talk about, the game tells you what to do, right? And you just gotta see what's open, and he's doing a great job of making plays for himself, but also getting his teammates involved, touching paint, forcing the defense to react, making the right passes. He had a couple turnovers today, but I thought he was outstanding. And then he always, is elite defensively in terms of what he brings to the table there, and our ability to switch, and his ability as a point guard to switch and guard, up and down. The lineup 1 through 4, at times 1 through 5 is tremendous. So he's been a huge piece. I thought he was our best player today. He and Robbie were the 2 guys that I thought really were our best guys today. But again, I thought we had a lot of guys up and down contribute, and he's been just phenomenal here the last 4 games in a row.
I asked Courvoisier about his 11 rebounds. I noticed, I don't remember every single one, but some of them were long caroms that came out to him, and he kind of chuckled and said, yeah, some of them just dropped down to me. I mean, but those count too, and sometimes that takes skill to have an idea of where a certain player might miss his shot. I don't know, but
for sure.
You want to say something about his rebounding today?
Yeah, I mean,
even if some of them might have been luck. I don't know.
Well, he definitely is usually not 11 rebounds, but he had 10 in the first half, and he was. I thought he did a good job. I mean, he was in there battling, and he's our leading rebounder. Something that probably people wouldn't recognize is that he's our leader in rebounding. Everybody knows his scoring, but we're a pretty small team across the board. If you look at it, we play 4 guards, and so we have to be a collective group on the glass. And he and Cam Henry have kind of led the way there. And but his job today, I thought he did a great job of getting on the glass. I think he rebounds because he likes to bring the ball up the floor. So it's the only time we let him bring it up is when he rebounds it. So I think it's a double-edged sword. It's like it's good because it means the other team missed, and that we secured the rebound. It's bad because we're going to be very slow in transition when he's bringing it up, but he loves to do it. So if he's getting the rebounds, we'll let him keep doing it. But he's done a really good job for us. Get a double-double and made some huge threes there in the second half to give us separation. I thought his 2 threes in a row were really, really significant in terms of giving us separation in that game.
Coach, before I turn it over to Omar, I just wanted to say something about it being his last game here with us. At Indiana State. He's done a good job. I just want to speak about his coverage of the team.
Yeah, no, we're going to miss you. We've lost a lot of good people here to different things, but I know you got big things ahead of you, and we do appreciate the platform, the coverage, everything you've done. We're going to hate that you're gone, but look forward to following all the successes to come. So we'll miss you.
Coach, thank you so much for mentioning that. I'm flattered by that. It's been a pleasure covering you guys over the years.
You.
Had a quick question for you. Courvoisier a minute ago was saying that since Julian got inserted into the line, but kind of changed the team. From your perspective, how do you think he's kind of changed the team?
Well, I think just how dynamic he's been. When you look at what he's been able to do these last 3 games, I think when you can get high-level point guard play, that changes your team, because what it's done is it's made everybody else's job a little easier. We go to Illinois State. I told the team this. Just credit to the group, but like we go to Illinois State, we don't have Cavassier on the road, and we win by 9. Then we come in today, and in my opinion, Cam Henry's probably our best overall player. He plays 19 minutes because of foul trouble, and he gets 4 points, and we win by 20. Without him, really. And Julian is complementing. I think when you get into it, it's always how do guys. It's not always the best players that play or win. It's the guys who play best together, right? It's how you complement their pieces. And Julian on both ends of the floor has done a wonderful job of amplifying the other guy's skill, and it's also taken some things off their plate and allowed them to play freer. So, what he's done for Robbie, what he's done for Voss, what he's done for Cam Henry, Coop, and those guys has been pretty significant with that first group. And so, the biggest question is why did it take me so long to start him, right? So that would be, so that would be, somebody asked me that the other day. They said, is he the most improved player? I said, probably so. And then I would be the dumbest coach for not getting him in earlier. So it's probably a combination. But he's done a great job for us, and hopefully I think it'll continue. He's one of those guys that, whether he scores 18 or he scores 0, he's going to be in the gym tomorrow working. That doesn't, no matter what the results are, circumstance doesn't change his work ethic.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Julian getting everybody involved in it being kind of a total team effort, but you had 5 guys scoring double figures today. What was working on that side of the ball on offense?
I think, everybody got him in different ways. Julian with his ability to get by and touch paint. Robbie, I thought we did a really good job of getting him in the seams and in the paint. Jason Kent continues to cut at a really high level. He has some good looks at threes that went in and out that he'll make, but his cutting has been fantastic. Cooper, made a big 3 for us, but got a couple tough mid-range jumpers, and so everybody did it. But the offense, the balance has been the key. I think that's been what's made us good. Is you can't fixate or focus on this guy who's averaging 20 points a game is going to take all the shots. I mean, Voss, our leading scorer, but we scored 76 in a row without him. And we have a lot of guys that can put the ball in the basket. Cam Henry was great Wednesday. He was not as good today. Other guys step up and carry the weight. And Valpo, Robbie struggled. Caden McKnight gets a double-double. So everybody's pulling their weight, and on good teams, that's what makes them good. Is guys can pick each other up, and you have a lot of options and solutions. Games always ask you questions. You got to have solutions. And when I look down that bench, we have a lot of guys that are solutions to problems inside of a game.
When the Tribune Star covers your game, which is pretty much every game, the oldest reporter at the post-game news conference is probably one of us. Because Andy Amy's 74, I'm 63, Mark Bennett's 62. We all remember the Larry Bird era and everything. And I'm certainly not jumping ahead here, but your 6-0 start in the conference is the first 6-0 start by Indiana State since that team. I know you're probably more of a basketball historian than the 2 young guys that were here.
Yeah.
They're familiar with Larry Bird, but you're probably real familiar.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean to you, realizing that anything could happen in the future and nobody's counting anything that hasn't happened yet, but still, I got to think it's an honor a little bit to be at least somewhat compared to them.
Oh, to be mentioned in the same breath with that team. I mean, what that team did here and what it's meant to the community. I mean, people still talk about it every day, 40, whatever it's been, 43, 44 years later, right? And so that's a team that, that's the great thing about being a champion. People still talk about, Ren and Menser, and they talk about Jake Odom and those teams and Larry Bird and, and all the teams that came through here, that Carl Nicks and, all the teams that won at a high level that were champions. That's what the legacy you leave, right? And that's so to mention the same breadth of that team or to be 6-0 for the first time. Obviously, we understand. We haven't done anything yet. We've won 6 games, which is it's something, but it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. No one's going to be happy if we're, 6-14 at the end of the valley. So, we have a lot of work to do to continue to get better and grow together. And but anytime you accomplish something or do something for the first time in 44 years, you certainly want to celebrate those things. And then you celebrate them quick and yeah, for a little bit of time, and you move on. There's it is important for our guys that. I tell them all the time, seasons are noisy. It was noisy when we were 9-1, and everybody was CBS Sports saying first time since 78, 79, and then we lost 3 in a row, and everybody was saying we stunk and we were frauds and, and all that. And so now you win 4 in a row. And so, yeah, it's just the way it is. And my point in that is not, it's not so much getting caught up in all that stuff. It's really understanding that, you're locking in to trying to continue to improve and get better, because the day you stop improving is the day you stop being good, and the day you stop locking in to continual improvement, you allow yourself to get caught and you're going to get passed. And so if you're on top and you stop focusing on improvement, the teams below you are going to catch you and pass you. If you're not where you want to be, if you're not at the top, if you don't continue to improve, you're never going to catch the guys ahead of you. And the day we come in here and stop working on getting better and stop trying to get better as a team, that's the day we'll stop being good. So it's an honor to be compared to them. It's a tremendous accomplishment to win first 6 Valley games. But in the grand scheme of things, our focus has to lock back into Monday, because they'll enjoy this tonight and tomorrow. When we come back Monday, is learning from this game, and then doing everything we can to prepare for a great team Wednesday in Southern Illinois, and anything else will, we'll quickly flip. We saw already this year how fragile success can be. So we know it, we've seen it. So it's we got to continue to work.